Welcome to qnawire.
Here we're going to have the following two questions. On a previous video, we already did all of part one, so now I'm going to focus on question two. In this case, we're going to have 25 grams of sulfuric acid that is reacted with 7.7 grams. So with this, we want to know how many grams of potassium sulfate is going to be produced. In order to do that, we need to know the amount of mole of potassium hydroxide and the amount of mole of sulfuric acid that we had on the reaction. So each of them are going to correspond to the mass divided by the molecular weight of the corresponding compound. So first of all, for potassium hydroxide, we're going to have a molecular weight of 56.1 grams per mole. For sulfuric acid, let me write down already the molecular weight, which is going to be equal to 98.1 grams per mole. And for potassium sulfate, we're going to have a molecular weight of 174.26 grams per mole. Okay, so first of all, the amount of mole of potassium hydroxide would be 7.7 divided by 56.1. Which gives us 0.1372, 137, let's put it directly, mole of potassium hydroxide. Next, we're going to see how much of potassium sulfate this can produce, and the amount that it's going to be able to produce would be of potassium sulfate would be 1/2 of my initial amount. So due to stoichiometry, this would be 0.0685 mole of the sulfate. Now for the sulfuric acid, we're going to have 25 grams divided by 98.1 grams per mole, which gives us 0.255 mole, which produces, this would be of sulfuric acid, which would produce the same amount of potassium sulfate. So in this case, the limiting reagent is going to be the potassium hydroxide. Thus, the amount of grams that are going to be produced of the sulfate would be equal to the amount of mole corresponding to the limiting reagent, 685 mole, multiplied by the molecular weight of the sulfate, of the potassium sulfate. So this would produce 11.94 grams. Actually, let's put it as 11.937 grams. And you can cut up as many significant digits as required by your professor. So with this, we want to calculate the mass of excess reagent that remains for the reaction. So the mass in excess, this would be answer for A, and for B, the mass of excess of sulfuric acid would be equal to the initial mass minus the mass that reacted. This would be 25 grams minus, in this case, since we know that 0.685 moles would react due to this stoichiometry, we can look it up as, let me not skip any steps, moles of potassium hydroxide. We know that 2 moles of potassium hydroxide is going to react with 1 mole of sulfuric acid. And we know that 1 mole of sulfuric acid corresponds to 98.1 grams. So with this, the mass in excess would be 25 minus 6.72, which gives us 18.28. So this would be the answer for part B. And with that, it would be all. Thank you very much and have a good one.